everybody, I'm Joey, and today I'm back with another steak experiment. Today we're cooking steak two ways, one using ghee or clarified butter, and the other using liquid gold, also called Wagyu Beef Tallow. So follow me and let's turn up the tasty. So we're back today with another steak experiment. If you followed my channel before, you know I like to consider myself a real Tesla of T-bones, Da Vinci of the meats, and Edison of edibles. Wait a minute, that doesn't really mean what I think it means, but anyway, we're back. So we have two different types of oils we'll be cooking with today. The first is ghee, which is really clarified butter. It's a classic oil used in French cooking, and right over here we have beef tallow, but not just any beef tallow. This is Wagyu beef tallow that we made ourselves, and we actually did another video on that. It's up on our channel. Before we get started, I just want to take a moment and thank our friends at Porter Road for sending us these incredible dry-aged New York strip steaks. Also want to thank my friends at INTOTHEAM for sending me this tremendous merch. Whether you want the steaks or the shirt, we've included a link in the description below. Now, back to science. Today we are cooking these steaks in a cast iron skillet. And I think science is all about doing things with consistency. So we have not one, but two skillets. They're both Lodge cast iron skillets, and they're both the exact same size. Also, we have two Duck's Top induction burners. This isn't a sales pitch. I just want to let you guys know that we're doing our best to control the variables by using the same size of skillet and the same type of heating mechanism. So these steaks have been salted already for over an hour. We're going to heat these to the exact same temperature. This is where the smoke point of oils comes in. Once it exceeds its smoke point, it begins to break down and creates a burnt, bitter flavor that goes with the food, obviously. So we want to try to keep it below its smoke point. Ghee has a very high smoke point of about 480 degrees Fahrenheit, while beef tallow generally has a smoke point right around 420 degrees Fahrenheit. It also happens to be my own personal smoke point. But kidding aside, there isn't a lot of data that I could find about the smoke point of Wagyu beef tallow. Is it lower than normal beef tallow? I don't really know, but we're going to assume it's about the same. We're gonna go ahead and heat these to the exact same temperature, and I'll know because I have an infrared thermometer right here. It's fun to just like point at and take the random temperature of things. We're going to be using it to make sure that these surfaces are heated to about the same degrees before we throw in the steaks. Let's roll. All right, so these have been heating up for a few minutes. They're induction burners, so they can heat up really quick. We're just going really low to heat evenly, but they're both registering really close in the middle. This one over here is at 280, and then we have this one over here at about 287. We're going to take these up to about 420 degrees before we add the oils. Quick note, even though I said that the smoke point of beef tallow is around 420, it's not gonna scorch the moment I put it in there. I'm gonna put it in there once I put the steaks in. That temperature is actually gonna drop. These aren't tremendously thick steaks, so they shouldn't take a long time to cook, but we'll see. All right, guys, we've been preheating both these pans. I use the infrared to determine they're both at about 450 degrees. So first, let's go with the ghee side, right over here. And then over here, let's get that beef tallow in. And I'm gonna try to pull them off at about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, now we're definitely getting more smoke from this one, but let's see if it's hotter. This one is running a little hotter for some reason after we drop that in, so I'm gonna turn that up. But we are getting different smoke profiles, which is interesting. We've been cooking these now for about 2 minutes. So let's flip them over, see how they look. Still working on getting a little bit of a crust right there. I have a gray spot. Right over here, we're not getting as good of a crust on that. I think it was because it was running a little bit cooler. Now, we're not going to do any rosemary or any butter. We just really want to get the impact of the oil and the flavor and the outcome on the steak. So we're not going to add any accoutrements to this. We're just going to leave it plain and just see how it goes. They're really cooking at a very similar pace here. They're both at 90 degrees internal temperature. Okay, so it's been another 2 minutes, so let's flip again. Now I know that I could cure these gray spots by spooning some of the oil over on top, but with 2 steaks, it's really a bit much. I mean, we're seeing very similar crust. Maybe I'm seeing a little better Maillard reaction on the one with the Wagyu Beef Tallow versus the Clarified butter right now. Okay, we're gonna let those rest for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna grab our intern who's gonna help me do a blind taste test and see which one really tastes the best. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. I grabbed a frosty beverage. These steaks are cooled down a little bit. And before I cut into them, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm seeing on the exterior. First of all, it's clear to me, this one right here, cooked in the Wagyu Beef Tallow, has a much better crust on really both sides. Over here we have the Clarified butter, and this just doesn't have as good of a color. Is that because it was at a slightly lower temperature relative to its burn point? I don't know, but we tried to keep all the variables very similar for both of these. Let's go ahead, cut in, see how they look, and then call in T-Bone for that taste test. All right, brother, you ready for some good steak?
Yeah, I'm pretty ready.
Which one are you going for first? I know which is which, so I'm gonna see your reaction first before I dive in. I'll let you go. Go for the Big Daddy slice right there. Actually, I can't wait. What am I thinking? I can't wait. Well, it's a dry aged steak, and both of them are, so there's no difference there. They're both dry aged, and that's really one of my favorite ways to have a steak. Really helps increase the beefiness of the steak, I find.
It's super juicy. Like the first bite, it's like it's a water balloon. You know, your mouth just fills up with all that.
Very nice.
Flavorful.
Tastes like steak. Well, that's a good thing. I think that's the best thing we could hear about any steak we cook here, that it tastes like steak. Not like those, you know, when we did those fakey hamburgers a few weeks ago. I'm still traumatized too. I don't want to give away the results. One of the few times ever on camera I spit food out. But what I'm getting right here is, like you said, a water balloon. Man, that's a great way to explain it. You get hit with that you get hit with that you get hit with that deep, rich, beefy flavor, and that's one thing that sticks out to me is the richness of it.
Yeah, it's really not super crispy. The crust isn't super hard, but it's also not, you know, it's not soggy. It's just pretty tender. But the inside is just incredible.
Right on, man. So let's dig in. But before you do, you know the drill. Salud. Little free advertising for this brand. Never mind, you didn't see it.
Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
That's good.
It's really good. Go back for more.
I feel like it's just like, it's less juicy, but like almost more flavorful. It's definitely like a sweeter flavor almost.
I would say, like, I'm searching for words as it relates to that steak. It's a great tasting steak. I love every bite of it, but it is definitely a different flavor. This one to me tastes a little richer. Not a greasier by any means, but it coats your mouth a little bit more.
This is just more like, it's tender, more tender.
Well, this one has more juice coming out of it, right? Like, I see that there, but they both rested for the exact same amount of time. So
I'm not quite sure which one's which yet, but I think this one's slightly better than the other one.
really,
Like 9 out of 10 versus 9.5 out of 10.
splitting hair. See, I think I'm on the other side of the fence. I actually like the richness of this a little bit more, but I think you said it.
The sweetness.
Yeah, it's like a half a point on, and you're at 9s on both of them. So, what's the final word?
I'm thinking tallow here and G on this side.
You got it right. G-O-G, it's ghee. That H is, yeah, it's a soft H, but it's all good, man. Well, look guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go have a beer. I'll let T-Bone close it out.
If you like this video, you guys know the drill. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up like button, or even better, subscribe so you never miss a beat, and you'll get to see me maybe.